Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Sharice and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
And hello, world. Hey, world. There used to be a song like that said, hello, world.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. All right. I want to apologize to the audience and definitely you, Sharice, as well. In my head, I'm trying to make the show better and get the assistant in place to be our producer and just get it together and get it tighter. And it feels like trying to implement that process has set us back. So
no setback at all.
Which is often for everybody out there how change goes when you're trying to improve. And we've all experienced, like at work, when they put in a new system and now everything breaks down until you get up and running again. And so that's what we're trying to do. Essentially, we're trying to put in a new system and get things running differently. And so that's why it feels like we're off and chaotic and all over the place. And I apologize to Sharice's people last week because they didn't get to see you on Facebook Live. And so you should have access to the recording, but if not, I'll send over that folder link again so you can pull that recording down and make sure you get it up so your people can get it. And y'all just be patient with us. Just please be patient with us as we try. Well, we're trying to get it better so we can be better and more consistent in all that we do. It's growing pains. It's just, that's flat out what it is. It's growing pains. So thank you guys so much. I'm already in advance. Thank you so much for your patience and everything. So, all right. Good morning, Sharice.
Take your deep breath. Just take a deep one. Just a couple of them.
This was feeling so bad. We was running late. The links are different. I just, and it's like we wanted to be better and it feels worse. So
no, it's fine. It's fine. The tribe is loyal and true. Trust me. They are good. And they're here.
Okay. All right. Where are you today? Because you're not only a fabulous yourself, you got a fabulous background. Like,
been in the hotel room today. So, it's always, if I was down in the lobby, it'd be really nice. But I didn't feel like going all the way down. So
I get that completely.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me what new and exciting things are going on for you as I find our topic for today.
Yes. Oh, hold on. I got the topic.
Okay.
Yeah. I had it pulled up. Hold on. The topic is leadership, confidence, and influence. Owning your power in spaces you've never been in.
Ooh.
Yes, that's good.
Such a good one.
Yeah, owning your power in spaces you've never been in. And that is under leadership, confidence, and influence. So yeah, that's going to be good. I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Yes.
I think what I want to say, can I go ahead and start? Or you?
Yeah, please. No, you start.
I think what I want to say is, don't do that. I want to say, don't do that at all. How I want you to show up, how I always want you to show up, is in a spirit of service. In a humble, quiet spirit of service. And I want you to be okay whether you gotta chip in because the organizer's running behind and you need to sweep a floor, or if they're like, hey, thank you so much for coming to speak today. Like, however, wherever is how I want you to show up and fit in. And so I want you to be in a very authentic. I was also trying to say authenticity at the same time, but I want you to be in a very peaceful, authentic, humble place of service when you show up, no matter what room you're showing up in. I mean, if you're at the White House, I want you to be in that place. And I don't want y'all trying to put something on. Like, I don't want you to act in confident. I don't want you acting like you got it all together. I want you being yourself and being of service. When you step in the room I'm sorry, I was laughing at myself because in in the movie, I've been watching a movie with my little nephew. What's that movie? Anyway, they keep saying, "I will serve. I will be I will be of service. I will serve. I will be of service." John Wick of all, so such a violent movie,
Yeah.
but they'll say, "I will serve. I will be of service." And if you can show up with that I will serve, I will be of service. So whether you need me to be on stage talking to the whole crowd, or you need me to be in the back hanging out, handing out programs like back in church, like wherever you need me to be, or you need to be in the kitchen, like I will be there. I will serve. I will be of service. And when you get into that mindset, you walk with confidence. Like people perceive that you have confidence. They perceive that your genuineness, like it was just, I don't like your realness comes through. And so we were just, a friend was just talking to me the other day, and she was at a funeral, and one of the ladies came in and just sat up like on the first pew where the family was sitting, and put such a bad taste in their mouth about this particular lady. And I was like, has she just shown up with service, of what do y'all need me to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
That she would have gotten such a different response and result.
Totally.
And so I really want you guys, I feel like so many people are trying to be when I just need you to be.
Just be who you are, where you are.
Yeah. And I think if you can see leadership as service, if you can see leadership as service, and always trying to find a better way to serve these people, even if you're a speaker, because for whatever reason, when I think of leadership, I think of people being on stage and speaking, a better way of getting a message to them, a better way of getting a lesson to them, a better way of getting a key understanding to them, a better way of serving, then I don't think you need to worry about, do they think you have confidence? Do you have confidence or not? Because it just shows up. I think authenticity and service will trump confidence every day of the week. Okay, what do you think?
It is confidence. You know, knowing that, I always share with people, I have to be a servant and a boss. Like I've shared that with you often, Natalie, because of the type A women that I serve.
Yes.
So I have to know how to show up. There are spaces where, I'm just not going to be the boss today. I'm going to be a server, and I'm going to support you today in this situation. But I know who I am. And I can do that. I can be that servant, and I can be that servant in confidence. And another too, want to, add a little rebuttal in here. With the word humble, I teach my tribe, we don't use the word humble.
Okay.
Based off of its true definition, because it's lowly. We taught to use the word humble because, for us, growing up generationally, we're like, oh, sweet, meek, but where we are in life now, we do not have space or time to be humble, meek. We have to stand up. We have to stand strong. We have to stand authentic and confident in everything that we do. So just replacing the word humble, because a lot of the programming that we've been under, we've been kind of, I don't like using the word curse because we're no longer under curse, but we have been cursing ourselves with certain words.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. So I told you why I don't use the word good morning anymore, because of the slave times. Like there's a whole video about it. Slave times, good morning is derived from morning is from the word morning. Good morning, like you've been mourning your treacherous life, your terrible life, your beatings, the rapings. So I don't use the word morning anymore. That's why you hear me say rich rising. So I'm just very conscious of a lot of the words that I use and how I use them. And listen, we've been programmed. So I'm not judging. I'm just saying the awareness. You have to become aware of what you are saying over your life and over your people's life. Of course, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, that's a positive energy. But just be aware of what you are truly saying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even with that word humble, it straight up is lowly. And if you look up the definition, I have it somewhere. I'll look it up before we're off here. But we're not a lowly people. We are people of God. We are people of the highest power. We
Mm-hmm.
are people. We are dominion. We walk in dominion on this earth. This is
Mm-hmm.
ours. So we can do anything. But if you are in a mode of, being humble and meek, you're going to take the background. We don't have time or space to take that background. So what Natalie is saying is be authentic, be confident, show up and who you really are.
Yes.
So that's just awareness.
Awareness. Definitely so. Awareness. Okay. So let me ask you a question. When you see people struggling with leadership, stepping into leadership, what do you say to them?
Take a step back.
Ooh.
Is this your space? Because what
Okay.
I think a lot of people are not doing is operating in their purpose.
Okay.
A lot of us are in, careers and skill sets that we're good at,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you find yourself struggling in a space, you have to step back and say, is this the space for me?
Ooh.
Is this where I should be?
Yeah.
And you could have literally, gotten all the education, all the accolades, and, all the rewards. And here you are struggling in this space. Why? Why are you struggling? So take a step back and
Mm-hmm.
reevaluate, where am I? Who am I?
How do I know the difference between I'm struggling and I need to take a step back and I'm struggling, I just need to stay here and grow into this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's self-awareness and self-evaluation.
Uh-huh.
When you have to learn how and when to pivot, right? But only you will know that when you self-evaluate, right?
Ooh,
And
yes.
self-evaluation is going back to facing yourself. Am I truly doing what it is I want to do? Is this me? Is this who I am? And I think so many times we're not. I think we're
Mm,
programmed to do what they said do. Oh,
yeah.
who told you to go to college for that? Who told you to go get this certification and that certification? I think we're in a really, really, really good space now where people are moving in their, authenticity more so than ever.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still dealing with a lot of programming because a lot of people are walking around here miserable.
Mm.
So for me, it's just that self-awareness, that self-reevaluation, and like, who am I and what do I
Mm-hmm.
really want? So many people aren't operating in what they really want.
That's true. And I think it's funny, I've had two conversations about that over the last week. Um, and y'all know, I always like for y'all to have like something practical takeaway.
Yeah.
Make sure that you are sitting still, being quiet, and really allowing your heart, spirit, mind, and soul to come together on what you really, really want.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the first conversation I had was with somebody, and she was just like, well, I don't want to work anymore. Okay. But don't think you're just going to jump into this entrepreneur thing and not work. So let's be clear. And so she was like, well, so and so just spent a month in Jamaica. Okay, but you just said you want a real estate. You want to do real estate in Jamaica or here? Like, you come on now. And so just get really, really clear. So I want to make sure everybody is taking that time to get quiet and to get clear about who they are and what they want and what direction they're going, and making sure you're giving yourself permission to want what you want.
Mm-hmm.
To want what you want.
Yeah.
Even if, and I know this is a hard thing to say, but some of y'all may have to blow up your life to get what you want because you've built your life in a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's not going to sustain if you make a change.
Mm-hmm.
And so you might have to just blow it up and start all over again. And that can look very, 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 very different for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's different ways to blow up your life. And so
Yeah.
somebody, I don't know who we was talking about, but we were talking about they're going to blow up in their life, but they're going to do it in a very controlled demolition type of style. You know, like they blow up buildings sometimes and take them all down and build something else, but it's a very controlled chaos, right? Yeah. The charges are put specific places in the building so the building caves in on itself and not out in all of these ways. And so you may have to do that to get where you want and where you need to be. But please take the time and sit down and make sure you're thinking. Yeah. And I gotta say, even if I'm saying this, I don't have enough time in my life to do all of the quiet thinking that I need to think. Because a lot of times my brain feels chaotic and all over the place. So I really need to sit down more and be quiet more and make sure that I'm really clear on where I'm going and what I want. Yep. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Clarity. If you notice, one of our top pillars in this podcast is clarity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that you can make many moves without clarity.
You can't. And and even if you make moves, you will find out you're moving in a circle or you're not moving with efficiency. Like you're not moving in a direction. Your movement isn't getting you anywhere. And that'll hurt you more than anything. When you realize you've exerted all of this energy to wind up nowhere. Back where you started. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and that's what that self-awareness and evaluation is about. I think that, like, I would like to give them an example. I'm trying to get one coming up in my head with self-awareness, how important it is. You need to be aware if you are the problem, if you are the common denominator in situations, because a lot of people aren't really, they look around and, this person and that person just blame the blame game, right? There's always something wrong with everyone else. A lot of times when it's always something wrong with everyone else, that one common denominator is the one particular person that is not seeing self as they should, right? Right. And I think we've all probably, been in that space before, but it could be more severe for others. And but that's self-awareness. Like if you can take a deep dive enough to look at self and say, I'm out here by myself. Where my friends at? Where is everybody? Oh, wait a minute. We might have a problem. And that is just take that self-evaluation, taking time out, sitting still, taking a vacation by yourself, taking time out by yourself, a walk, and just seeing self. Like, what is it about me that I could improve? And there's always something that you can improve.
Always.
But you have to become aware of it.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It's so easy not to see yourself and see your challenges and your issues, right? It's easy. You can always see everyone else's, but it's hard to see your own.
Yes, it is. Let me help you out with that.
Yes.
If you just have the understanding that you, for better or worse, have created your life. And so if you want something different, it's because you haven't created it yet. If you just take that on. So if my relationships are messed up, if you can take ownership of, man, I've created some messed up relationships. Okay, what do I need to do differently and better? Your finances are messed up. Man, I've created a terrible financial situation for myself. What do I need to do better? And those are the biggest things with people, finances and relationships, right? But if you could just take ownership that I have what I have because I've created this. So either with my knowledge or my lack of knowledge, even with my action or my inaction, I've created everything that I have in my life. Good, the bad, and the ugly. I think you'll start to move with so much purpose and power. And so if you realize it's something as simple like, all my friends have hurt me. Okay, I have created this dynamic in my life. What does that mean? Am I choosing people who will hurt me? Am I not? Am I, y'all do that? We do that. Am I not? So do I need to do a better job choosing friends? What am I doing? And is it something in the way I'm dealing with people and forgiving people that could be causing it? But if you could take ownership in all of that, and you will be surprised. You will be surprised.
Ownership.
It's so and it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
It's so easy to say, especially as entrepreneurs, well, the market's not just the market's not buying right now. Are you not selling them what they want to buy?
Yeah.
Because people shop on Amazon every single day. So the market is buying. They're just not buying from you.
From you. And why aren't they buying from you?
Right.
Do they even see you? Are you showing up?
Yeah.
And how are you showing up?
Right. I was just doing research this morning when I was supposed to be getting up and getting dressed on marriage retreats. Marriage retreats are selling. They are out there. They're doing sponsored ads. They're doing all kind of things. So they're selling. So if they're not buying from me, then what am I doing wrong?
Right.
What am I doing wrong? Because they sell it. They selling. Somebody buying something. So what am I doing wrong? And so that'll be so helpful. And the swing that back around to leadership. If you can see that as a leader, as you operate as a leader, then you will have so much more power in how you operate and how you move your organization forward. So if you look at your organization as opposed to my salespeople ain't selling. If as a leader, you're like, what's happening to where my salespeople are not making these sales? Do I need to do something in a training program? Do they need better sales aids in the marketing materials? Do they need a better invoicing system? Like what's going on? Because if these people are there and they want to succeed and they want to make money, do I not have the right container for them to do it in? And so taking leader ownership in that. If your admin isn't showing up where you want them to show up, how to show up, do we have those policies and procedures written out and written clearly? Like what's going on? And so taking ownership and saying, okay, this is a me problem or organization problem and not a they problem. Well, they just need to do better. I'm the only one who works hard here. Okay. That's not going to take you far. Okay, go ahead. I'll give you back the floor.
No, you're absolutely right. In leadership, do you think that leaders are born or created?
Both. I think I'm a born leader because I'm the oldest of 7. And so I learned I'm laughing because as a kid, your siblings, oh my God, you want to know what kind of leader you are? Just talk to your siblings. They'll But I remember as a kid learning the lesson. This is the lesson I learned as a kid on Saturday mornings, cleaning up the house and telling everybody what they was going to clean up, is that my people would revolt if I wasn't cleaning up too. So I learned very early, as a leader, your people need to see you working as hard as they working, or else they will revolt.
Yeah.
And so I think in that situation, some of us are born leaders because we're born into leadership and we have to lead. You know, if you're the oldest of 7 and the house has to be cleaned up before y'all can turn on the TV and watch cartoons, you learn how to get it done. And so there's definitely people who are kind of born into it. With that being said, I don't care if you're the best born leader ever, you still need to read some books and take some trainings and really learn how people work. And your self-work is going to be most important. Your self-work is going to be most important. You can't be a leader taking things personally. Oh, I know they didn't do that because they didn't. Like, you cannot do that as a leader. And so it takes a combination. And I will say, all character is developed over time. And so everything is learnable, but take the time and learn it. You got to learn it and practice and learn it and practice and learn it and practice. So what would you say the answer to the question is?
I would say both. I do believe there are some so many natural born leaders. I think that many of them are not nurtured, and coached. And I think that's where, you have to be confident. But if you're a natural born leader that's not confident, how are you going to lead? I also think that great leaders are great learners.
Yes.
Teachers and great learners and great teachers. So no, I'm sorry. Great learners, great teachers, and great listeners. Because listening is everything. You have to hear the people. You have to tap into the heartbeat, the pulse of the people. And if you are a great leader, you're not going to lead with ego. You have to, because you have to give the people what they want, right?
Right.
What they want and what they need. You got to give them what they want so you can give them what they need.
Right.
And in order for a great leader to give them that, they have to be a great listener. Right. And I think a lot of people, period, not even just in leadership, but just overall in life, aren't great listeners. True. Are you listening to what the people are not saying?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what great leaders do.
Yeah.
Are you listening to what the people are not saying? I learned that behind the chair, for instance. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, but that is not what you want. It's definitely not what you need.
In one of the leadership classes books, I don't know where I got it from, but they were saying how important it is for a leader to stop, take a breath, and in crisis ask questions. Don't make any knee-jerk decisions, but ask questions. And they were like, the bigger the crisis, the more you need to stop, take a breath, and ask questions. Like, is that the problem or is that the real problem? Is there another problem behind this that we actually need to solve first before we put the fire out? And I thought that was really, really good. Really, really good. And so many people just will jump and make a decision or a knee-jerk reaction. And so as leaders, you definitely want to come up with a set of questions you need to ask in any and every crisis. Like, we're not going to make a move until we get this figured out.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, what is the real problem?
Yeah.
If there's an underlying problem, what is that? How did it get started? What are possible solutions? And you always want to have multiple solutions before you pick a solution. Who is involved? And I think where the emotions are coming from. Like, what emotions are at play here? Is it an emotion of greed? Is it an emotion of fear? Is it an emotion? I think understanding the emotions that are driving decisions or panic or fear is so important to make good decisions.
It is. And, you have to tap in with the people to make those good decisions. For sure. Leadership, like, it is what it is. Like, leadership, most of us are, but a lot of us are leaders of people. And that right there, that's a special gift because you have so many different personalities. You have so many different people going through different emotional states in life, growing, evolving. And, I just think that I'm all with to be a great listener. Most importantly to me.
That makes sense to me. Okay. All right. What your people saying on Facebook? We got you on there.
I hope. Yes. Hold on. Yep. I am there. I don't have any comments yet. Let me refresh. See where we are. Yeah, I don't have any comments yet. So.
Okay.
I'll stay tapped in with them.
Yeah, and we started late, so they may not even know we're here. So, which again, y'all, I apologize. It's all in the name of trying to improve it and make it better. We're getting better.
Yes.
All right. So, okay, last thoughts on leadership.
Okay. So, Gosh, there's so much with leadership. I think that in entrepreneurship with leadership, I think that there are certain responsibilities that you have, probably across the board. But I think that, of course, we know confidence is extremely important. And I think that you should understand that you are automatically an influencer. And people use that word now. Oh, I'm an influencer. No, you influence people. If you lead people, you influence them. So if you influence people, that means you really have to be on all the time. You know, like, and owning those spaces is, you know, being confident in the space and being authentic. You know, like you said before, with the authenticity, that's going to bring the confidence, you know, the servant spirit. That's going to bring, even with humble, like, it's like, no, I'm a servant here. That may equate to some people, humble servant, right? But a servant can only serve in confidence. If I come up and say, I'm going to serve, what do you need? Simply, what do you need? I most likely am saying that in confidence, right?
Yeah.
So that is influencing people.
Yeah.
You know, that is influencing people. And if people are, you might be the usher for the day. You might be serving the food for the day. You might be helping people get dressed for the day. The parking attendant, whatever it is, you're influencing people into a certain direction. So I want people to take that really serious when it comes to leadership. Like, I don't care how you look, how you feel. If you're holding down that position, you're influencing people. So take that thing serious.
Excellent job. Excellent job.
Yeah.
All right. My last thoughts are actually, Sharice, I'm going to take your words. Is show up.
Oh, yeah.
Show up and keep showing up.
Yep. Yep.
Show up and keep showing up. Yeah. That's it. That's it. That's it. So
and that's what leadership is.
Yeah. And so you're going to show up with a spirit of peace and a spirit of service, but I need you to show up. I need you to show up when you say you're going to show up. I need you to show up in support of others. I need you to show up when you don't want to show up. I need you to show up. I need you to show up. And so you will be the leader by default just because sometimes you're the one who showed up. And you're the one who's been showing up. And you will be pushed forward by default because you're the one who's there and can. Not even can, is willing to. Willing to. And so I'm so excited because that right there, I hope somebody out there got that part. That you just keep showing up. You're going to get opportunities that nobody else is going to get simply because you showed up. There is a power in showing up and continuing to show up. And
period.
Period. All right. And so, yeah, you will, leadership will grow. If you just keep showing up at the same place over and over again, before you look around, you'll be in leadership.
You'll be in leadership. Authentically. Right? Mentally. So, yeah. And that's how you own the space.
That is how you own the space.
That's how you own it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, my dear. I think that's it for today. You have a great and wonderful day. Enjoy wherever you are. And I'll talk to you next week. And we're going to work really hard to get this nice and smooth.
Oh, yeah. We got it.
All right. I'll talk to you then. All right.
Take care.
Audio Jungle.